Of course, one of the core techniques with bioengineering is the rough and loose technique. It prepares the site so that we can even do the staking and provides the habitat for the plants to grow. Our main species, of course, are willows and balsam poplar. Both of these species are so-called pioneering species. They are the first ones that will grow on the site, and they have the big advantage that they grow from stakes. So you can cut some of the branches, and usually we say Dave Polster's rule of thumb, it shouldn't be smaller than your thumb at the bottom, and you cut stakes up to 1.50 m, 2 meters long, and on site you can use each one of those sticks and put more stakes into the ground than just one, because you cut them shorter. So we want to make sure that 70 to 80% of the stake is below ground. That is important for their success, and that the hole around them is tightly closed so that they are in direct contact with the soil and moisture, but not with oxygen necessarily. So that way you can pretty much guarantee their success. Other species that we use more in terms of the seeds are mountain avens, for example. Those are really important as well to colonize a site, and even something like wild strawberries. Different techniques, so of course there's the vertical staking, which most people are familiar with, but we also have techniques for the steeper slopes and something that's right adjacent to a creek, like the wattle fences, for example, where you have a few vertical stakes and then it's just like weaving the thinner stakes around them and creating a little bit of a barrier. And both of those stakes, vertical and horizontal, will grow as long as they have enough soil moisture, enough contact with the soil. Another technique that we have used quite a bit are live pole drains. So wherever we have, for example, a rut, an old trail that we are remediating and replacing another trail with, we put those stakes into that rut and cover them with soil. And it's quite amazing, even when they don't have to be buried very deep, and they start sending up all these shoots vertically. Where we also do that is some of the creek banks that are quite destabilized, we've used, and we rebuilt basically the entire creek bank. We have used brush layers. So we use an excavator to peel back some of the soil, and then we put in a lot of the willow stakes on an angle, typically around 45-degree angle. And then we cover them with the soil again and only have a little bit sticking out at the front. And those have done very, very well. We've had huge success with that technique, especially at the Sylvester Creek site in the Elbow. Those are really some of the major techniques. Of course, we always encourage people to come. I mean, there is the classroom session that is an entire day. Is that long for a reason, because you really learn all of these different techniques, but also the little pitfalls that you can have with the do's and don'ts of bioengineering.
Mm-hmm. One other quick thing just to add, the large woody debris. So sometimes we would take some aspen that they had felled just incidentally, and you can make corduroy to stop the erosion, or you can actually put big root balls right alongside the creek, and that also prevents erosion and it filters out some of that sediment that might be coming in too. Also a deterrent for further compacting those riparian areas. And if a little bit gets into the stream, it's actually great for fish habitat and aquatic invertebrates as well. It shades, it slows the flow a little bit. That's one really important a technique that we can use, not just in the small creeks, but Trout Unlimited's use them also in the Wapers Creek for bigger areas too.